What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch my videos. Again, if you like my stuff, please think about subscribing, like, comment, share. I love the feedback. I try to get as back to you as much as possible, and I love to improve myself with the comments. So real quick, I just want to give a well wishes to Lee Stranahan, journalist from the great radio show on Sputnik, Fault Lines with Nixon and Stranahan. He recently was protesting in Washington for Julian Assange, and he collapsed. He hit his head, but he is doing much better. He is tweeting, cracking some jokes, like he is well enough to tweet in the hospital. But I still want to send my well wishes to him. We have conversed back and forth on Twitter, and he is a nice guy, and I love his show, and I wish him the best. And let's move forward from that. So this video I want to talk about, I saw kudos to Tim Black. He retweeted this, and I saw this on Bernie Sanders' Twitter page, and he's gonna talk about the slogan "Not me, us." And I thought it was a great topic to bring as a video, because this hits Bernie supporters and Tulsi supporters, Yang supporters, Mike Gravel, all of us together. Let's check the video out, and then we're going to talk about it.
We talk about us, not me, because this is a very profound statement. What does it mean? It's not just a bumper sticker. What it means, and I believe this as somebody who's been involved in politics, been 13 years in the Senate, 16 years in the House, is that no president, not the best intentioned, not the most honest person in the world, no one person can do it alone. Now, why is that? Because this is what is not talked about in the media, not talked about in Congress. The power structure of America is such that a small number of wealthy individuals and large corporate entities have so much influence over the economic and political life of this country that no one person can do it. You think you're going to pass Medicare for all tomorrow because the President of the United States says that's what we should do? You think we're going to take on the fossil fuel industry and effectively and aggressively combat climate change because the President of the United States, we should do that? You think you're going to take on the drug companies who are ripping off the American people right and left? Do you think we're going to take on the military-industrial complex and not spend $700 billion a year on the military? The answer is that the only way we bring about the change that this country needs is when millions of people stand up and demand it. That's the only way that change ever takes place. All right? That's the history of the civil rights movement. That's the history of the labor movement. That's the history of the women's movement. That's the history of the gay movement. That's the history of the environmental movement. Frederick Douglass talked about it, the great abolitionist. Real change never takes place without struggle. So it's not a president saying, gee, I have a great idea. Wow, I woke up yesterday, I think healthcare for all is a good idea. It's not the way it happens. It happens when millions of people stand up and demand it. So this is what this campaign is about. This campaign is asking for your help to win the primary, to beat Trump. But it is asking for something more.
Bernie Sanders, he gets it. But I want to go a little farther with Bernie Sanders in that video. It's not just getting the people in there. It's getting the people that you know that are going to fight for the issues. It's not about just having the numbers in Congress or having the right president that you think is going to promote our message or our issues that we are fighting for. Because if you remember, President Barack Obama had a supermajority. And instead of getting, at that time it was called universal health care, now it's called Medicare for all, even with a supermajority, we did not get the policies that would transform or help us. It was what we got. We didn't even get a public option. We got a right-wing think tank plan, Romney Care, Affordable Care Act, which is still putting the power in the health insurance. There was a lot of, it's not perfect, but the Obamacare that is called now the Affordable Care Act has good provisions, but it doesn't go far enough. So what Bernie is talking about is he's absolutely right, but I want to go further in that, say we get a Bernie Sanders, a Tulsi Gabbard, we're going to need to elect people in Senate, the House, that we know are going to give us the policies, fight for the policies, vote on the policies that we as a people are voting for. We as a people that are going to fight for. He's absolutely right that we need millions and millions of people to fight. We need millions and millions of people to go to the ballot box and vote. We need millions and millions of people to go out in the streets and demand. We need millions and millions of people to come together and break the echo chamber of corporate media. We need to stand up and give everybody the knowledge, give them the truth that what's really going on, that a handful of corporations are spoon-feeding narratives that they want you to hear because it's a distraction for you not to hear the real issues that's going on in this country. All the issues all the policies that are being implemented right now are just the same old neolib, neocon, boom bust cycle policies. Cut regulations and everything goes up, growth and this and that, and then we crash. It's a house of cards. It's the same old policies that are being implemented. We need drastic change. We need somebody that's going to fight. If it's Bernie Sanders, I believe he'll fight. Tulsi Gabbard, 100%, I know she'll fight. We need, the first step is true. We need to get, this is the presidential election. We need to get a president that we know that's going to fight for us. Millions of people voted for Donald Trump thinking that he was going to fight for them. And he has just did the same, bowing to the MIC, the military industrial complex, bowing down to Big Pharma. Like the same thing is happening over and over and over again. And nothing is changing because we have, even if we had the president, say we have Tulsi Gabbard or Bernie Sanders, and we want Medicare for all. Bernie's absolutely right. If you don't have if you don't have the people, the votes to vote on it, that they're taking money from big pharma, insurance companies, nothing's going to change. If you want infrastructure and they're being bought by certain industries that don't want the infrastructure fixed, that they want the military industrial complex is pouring money into politicians to not get you the money to go to infrastructure. They want it to go to war. They want it to go to drones. They want it to go to the military bases all over the world so we can be the world's policemen. They don't want you to have infrastructure, clean water. They don't care about that. They just care about money and power. So Bernie is absolutely right, but I want to go further. I want to make sure we have the right people in place that you know that are going to fight for you. Not the same song and dance. I'm only going to see you in election time. No, we have to be there every chance I get. And I understand that there's millions of people that can't do it. They're working 2 to 3 jobs. 80% of this of Americans are working are paycheck to paycheck. I understand that we have less and less time, less and less freedoms in this country because we're working ourselves to death. And I think correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, I think we're the only industrialized country that doesn't guarantee at least 2 weeks paid vacation by law. And that has to change. There's so many things that we have to change. There's so many good ideas about getting people to the ballot box, getting politicians that excite, getting politicians that will fight for you, that you know that will fight. Not the same old, oh, he's a Republican, I'm a Republican, I'm going to vote for him. Same thing goes for the Democrats. We need something back for our vote. We have to stop with the tribal BS. If this Democrat is not going to fight for the issues that I want, I'm going somewhere else that will fight for my issues. Same thing goes for Republicans, Green Party, the Workers' Party in New York. We need politicians that will listen to us and not take money from corporations or super PACs, just big money. It's not even just not taking super PACs. It's not taking money from the executives of those companies. Like Gillibrand was having a party with an executive from Pfizer. Now what happens is she's a president and we want big pharma bill so we can have cheaper costs of medication. We don't know how much Pfizer has been donating to her because she's, they don't have to disclose that. She'll vote no on it. She'll veto it because of that. Because of the money comes favors. With money comes favors. But I just wanted to get it out there and talk to you guys directly and tell you that Bernie Sanders is absolutely right. If we want a president like Bernie Sanders or Tulsi Gabbard to fight for the issues that we truly believe in, we need the numbers. We need the politicians in office to listen to us. That's the only way we're going to get it. Nobody can do it by themselves. I truly believe that it is us, not me. We have to work together to break the echo chamber of corporate media. We have to work together to break the echo chamber of misinformation. And all of us need to come together. We're not all going to agree on everything. It's impossible. But we agree on the few issues that will push us forward. That's all I'm asking. Now, Bernie, Tulsi, Andrew Yang, Mike Gravel, we need them to keep fighting. Donate to those people and let's push the message forward. Talk to your friends, talk to your family members. Tell them that if you want real change, you need real people, real politicians that you know that are going to fight. And personally for me, it's Tulsi Gabbard because I know since she's been on the campaign trail, she has not backed down and she has gone straight for President Trump on foreign policy. And I know Bernie has too on domestic policies, but not the way that Tulsi has. I don't want to make it too long, but guys, let me know what you think. Do you agree with Bernie Sanders? Do you agree with myself? If you disagree, please let me know in the comments because I love the dialogue back and forth. We can agree to disagree or we come together and agree and keep spreading the message. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for taking the time out and watching my video. As always, peace, guys.